Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to movies and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well today. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the Mar-Vell Comics Epic Collection, Miss Mar-Vell Volume 1, This Woman, This Warrior. This collects the first adventures of Miss Mar-Vell, and it is a very brief epic collection, but still has some interesting behind the scenes featurettes, because we have original sketches and covers, and I believe a reprint of a letters page from the time that this came out. And this collects stories from 1977 to 78. The issues collected here are Miss Mar-Vell number 1 through 14, Mar-Vell Team Up issues 61 and 62, and the Defenders number 57. So here we have the cover and the back. So like I said, this is Miss Mar-Vell number 1 to 14, so it's the first appearance of her Rogues Gallery, her supporting cast. Miss Mar-Vell's secret identity, Carol Danvers, had been established in the Captain Mar-Vell series from the 60s, where she was the love interest of Mar-Vell, who was an alien from the Kree Empire. And, you know, there's a whole kerfuffle about the name Captain Mar-Vell. That's a video in and of itself. But like with everything that I review on my channel, I recommend that you go and read it for yourself or watch it if it's a movie, etc., etc. But to really summarize what happens here, like I said, it's the first, 14 issues of the series, plus appearances and a couple of other series. But here we have a flashback to her origin, where she's having lunch with Mary Jane Watson, Spider-Man's girlfriend, and she's talking about how she was a security officer at NASA, and she fell in love with Mar-Vell, and he and her were sort of like bound, because during a fight with another Kree villain named Yon-Rogg, part of Mar-Vell's powers were transferred into Carol. But, due to the circumstances surrounding her appearances in the Captain Mar-Vell series, she lost her job at NASA. So then she pursued a career in writing, so she starts working at the Daily Bugle in New York City. And when she's getting her job at the Bugle, that's where she meets and befriends Mary Jane and Peter. And one of the first comics that I owned was a Spider-Man comic from '78, so around the same time, where he and Miss Mar-Vell team up to fight Thanos. And it's a really cool comic. But this sets the stage for their relationship and her relationship with some other heroes, like the Defenders. As we see here, the Defenders are Hulk, Hellcat, Valkyrie, and a guy whose name escapes me, but I'll edit in some text telling you who he is. But we get to see, there's also a crossover with Dracula, because in the 70s, Mar-Vell had a series called The Tomb of Dracula, which is where we get the first appearance of Blade. But Count Dracula from the novel by Bram Stoker is in the Mar-Vell universe, and so is Frankenstein's monster. And obviously with characters like Werewolf by Night, we have Wolfmen and werewolves who are female. But so it's just the day in the life of the burgeoning heroism of Miss Mar-Vell, and she teams up with the Vision and Spider-Man. They fight a couple of baddies together, like the Scorpion, and we get other team-ups like the Human Torch and the Thing, and she even fights the Skrulls. But yeah, so basically it's the early adventures, but it's very well written and the artwork is beautiful. By the time you're seeing this, you'll have already seen the graphic at the beginning where I credit the writers and artists for this collection of stories, but they all do a very good job. My favorite book, well, my favorite comic in this collection is Miss Mar-Vell number 13, because that's where we get to see Carol's family and how her and her parents interact with each other. It's very interesting in my opinion. But I love the high-flying action scenes, and you know, like you saw, she's fighting MODOK on the cover, and then there's the other villain whose name I'm trying to remember. Deathbird. But yeah, Deathbird is a cool villain, and like I said, we have a flashback to her origin. So if you hadn't already read the Captain Mar-Vell series, you get caught up to speed. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being horrible and 10 being amazing, I would have to give this a 10 out of 10, because I had already liked Miss Mar-Vell ever since I was a child, specifically with that one Spider-Man comic where she appears in. But you know, she also plays a prominent role in the television series The Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which I love. I actually met Jennifer Hale, who does the voice of Miss Mar-Vell in that show. She's very, very kind.
Wish to die here, so be it.
Overall, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And let me know if you've read this, what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment. And if you're new to my show and want to check out more comic book reviews, then please subscribe and hit the like button. Ring the bell to be notified when I post new videos. Share this with your friends. In the description of this video, I'll leave links to my social media profiles. So if you want to send me a message or stay up to date about my channel, feel free to click on those website addresses. I'll also leave links to my podcast, so if you're interested in hearing me yap about Miss Mar-Vell or Wonder Woman or other things that are nerdy like that, then please subscribe to my podcast, share that with your friends, and I'll also leave the link to my Patreon page and merch store. So if you'd like to support this show financially, I'd greatly appreciate that. At the time of recording, I have a month-long deal for a couple of shirts on my merch store with my channel's logo on it and some special quotes. So if you want to get 10% off your order, then type in the offer code EARLYBIRD. That's all capitals, no spaces.